Nurses Scope of Practice in World Sight Day.
Thank you very much. Senior government officials, representatives of Pacific Eye Institute and Fred Hollows Foundation New Zealand, representatives of Fiji Eye Care Nurses, Ministry of Health and Medical Staff, and invited guests, media partners, ladies and gentlemen, Nisambula Vinaka, and a very good morning to you all. Please excuse my voice this morning. I think it's all to do with the awesome Fiji Day celebrations we had in Lambasa and the experience of Lambasa hospitality. I don't know how many of you were there, but if you were part of those celebrations, you'd agree with me that that was history indeed. That was history indeed. The people of Lambasa, all walks of life, came together in thousands, numbers went up to thousands and celebrated probably the best Fiji Day I had seen in Fiji in my last 46 years. So I've already told you I'm 46 years old. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the invite, and thank you all for being here this morning. As I look across the room, I see these beautiful ladies. You've outnumbered men once again. That talks about girl power, right? So I think any event that I start, and because we've just launched our mental awareness month as well, so I'd also like you to turn to the person next to you and ask if the person sitting next to you is okay. It's very important that we ask whether we are okay or not. Good. It's very rarely that people ask that question, right? We are so busy in our lives, especially as health workers. Your job, I think, demands so much of you. I totally understand the challenges that you go through, especially in this demanding, challenging, the work that we have to now do in the health sector. And rarely do we find somebody asking us, are you okay? There's so much complaints, there's so much complexities that come across our daily lives. I think we need people to ask. Your families, your colleagues. I would be very surprised if a patient comes and patient walks up to you and says, are you okay? But it doesn't happen. So as colleagues, I think your bonding should be so strong that you need to look after each other. And you can start your day, you can start your shift, you can end your day. Before you go off to sleep, send a message across to your buddies and say, how was your day? You need to talk. And I think we've ventured away from this communication bit. We try to keep things to ourselves. And so my thing is that if you work for the health sector, if you work for me, I want you to be stable, mentally stable. I want you to be happy. And sometimes happiness can be just got or derived by somebody asking you, are you okay? You need to talk. Sharing your food, sharing your thoughts, sharing your experiences, I think it'll take us a long way. So, nobody asked me if I'm okay, so if somebody wanted to ask me if I was okay, you can do it now. I'm all good, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about eyesight here this morning. And for me personally, I think it's one of the most important senses that we need to have. And as mentioned by the pastor, sometimes we have things that we don't value unless and until we lose it, or unless and until we know we are going to lose it, then we go into panic mode. Whether it's to do with your eyes, whether it's to do with your kidneys, whether it's to do with any disease that you know, could be life-threatening, could be avoidable. Sometimes we sort of tend to ignore our health, and the complication that comes after that sets up on a panic mode. So the whole idea of advocacy program, whether it's mental health, whether it's to do with your sight, whether it's to do with your kidneys, whether it's to do with hand washing. This morning we launched the global hand washing campaign at Woody South. I mean, the excitement among the children was so great. So what's the whole idea behind is to ensure that we are on the same page, health workers and the people that we look after. So when I spoke to the children, they were so happy, excited, showing me the hand washing, why it's important. Actually, they were repeating after me when to hand wash and stuff like that. Now, these messages need to be taken very seriously. Otherwise, we'll continue to have these advocacy programs. But if it doesn't go down to the very people that we are targeting, then we are failing somewhere. So all in all, like I said, we need to celebrate what we do. We need to celebrate what we have achieved in the health sector. You and I both know about the criticisms that are mostly leveled against us. One incident can tarnish the whole good work that you do. So the work that you do has to be done with commitment, dedication. There's no room for negligence in the work that you do. After all, everything that you do reflects on us. We have policies in place to look after our people. We have budgetary funding to fund programs to look after our people. But at the end of the day, it's you who are doing the groundwork. It's you who are implementing those things. So on that note, I'd like to thank you all for the good work that you've been doing. Please continue to do your work, because there are a lot of people out there who depend on your skills and your specialties that we have to give them the best advice, the best treatment. And I believe that every Fijian deserves the best from you and all the other health workers that we have. Coming back to this morning, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for allowing me to officiate at the launching of the Eye Care Nurses Scope of Practice. Of course, as mentioned by the MC, this coincides with the celebrations of the World Eyesight Day. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we cannot overemphasize how important our sight is, as our eyes not only affects what we see, but it also sometimes affects how we feel about everything. I'm sure for those who have lost the figures that was given by the MC, there are millions of people who have lost their eyesight. We have, I don't know exactly how many Fijians we have, but as we go along, we'll be revealing statistics and data to say, how is this affecting our fellow Fijians? If I can just share on a lighter note, I have a bad eyesight too. So I have my font 16 here so I can read without my glasses. So this happened when I went shopping, I think some months ago. So I have problems seeing the price tags. Liked something, I picked it up. I saw 2 digits there. I liked it, I picked it up. Went to the counter, gave a $100 bill to the cashier, and she looked at me. I said, okay. She said, madam, another $89. I said, why? I said, that dress costs $89. No, she said, you missed the 100 in the middle, the 100 in the front. So it can also lead to very embarrassing situations if you are not able to read properly. And I think for us in this modern world, we have technology, we have glasses. You can what's the other thing you have? Yeah. There's so many things. But at the end of the day, I think from the very beginning, it is very important that we take care of our eyes. As mentioned, diabetes does affect eyesight. And Fiji in the Pacific ranks very high in terms of diabetes. So there are a lot of complications that arise and lead us to poor eyesight, because it is all linked to health. And health needs to be addressed in totality. And how do we get a total health? Well, when we look at health and well-being, we don't only need to look at mental, we need to look at physical, spiritual, everything. So our good friend Pastor here is also very important in trying to bring us how important eyesight is. And the complications that come with losing an eyesight for a family and an individual, I think that's greater. Imagine a family member losing total eyesight loss. What are the implications of that? The dependency bit that member is going to have on the other family members is also going to lead to a lot of financial implications. So, of course, when we commemorate today the World Sight Day, we also use this as a very good platform to, like we said, reach awareness on good eyesight. International Day, celebrated on the second Thursday of October, and focuses on global issue of avoidable blindness and visual impairment. And thus very timely 2018 theme, Universal Eye Health. Ladies and gentlemen, this ongoing campaign for World Sight Day sends a very strong message to key policy makers, including you and me, to provide necessary resources to our people to maintain good eye health, especially among the most vulnerable populations. Of course, this includes access to free or low-cost eye exams and access to information, I think, which is also very important, information about preventative measures for people with and without eye diseases, and where this information can be most useful. Ladies and gentlemen, a theme aligned to the World Organization's Action Plan 2014 to 2019, and we will be using this theme for the next couple of years as a rolling theme. And every year, however, the focus will be on the call to action, and for 2018, the theme selected Eye Care Everywhere. It calls for action on the World Sight Day in finding solutions to ensure that everyone, everywhere has access to good eyesight. But again, individuals matter. Individual responsibilities also play a a great part in ensuring that we find solutions for people everywhere to have access to good eyesight. Global figures, as again mentioned by the MC, indicates that about 36 million people are blind across the globe, and a further 217 million have visual impairments. It is alarming to note that more than 75% of all visual impairment and blindness is avoidable, and the prevalence of blindness and visual impairment combined has dropped from 4.58 in 1990 to 3.3% in 2015, and about 89% of visually impaired people live in low middle income countries. Now that is something for us to look into. Mention again the major causes of blindness and visual impairment. If we come to Fiji, refractive error, cataract and diabetic retinopathy. While refractive error and cataract are treatable, blindness from diabetic retinopathy is irreversible but avoidable with early detection and early intervention. I think one of the key messages that we carry out during advocacy programs is early detection. We talk about breast cancer, early detection. We talk about prostate cancer, early detection. It's early detection. And I think we have health services that are open across the country where people can have access to these and ensure that these things are early detected so that is treated. However, it also must be realized that efforts from the healthcare sector and stakeholders to halt and reverse this problem will be to no avail if individuals do not take ownership of their health and proactively address any issues. And here in case is the eye problems. The burden, again, if I can mention, of blindness on an individual, on the family, on the community, and the nation is enormous. With the impending tsunami of diabetes that we are already facing, we now have already experienced a younger population becoming blind from diabetes, and the problem will continue to escalate if we don't find solutions. I think time to talk is over, and it's important that all the stakeholders get together and see how best we can address this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pacific Eye Institute data reveals that a total of 5,471 people have been consulted, reviewed, and treated for eye cases at the diabetic clinic from January to July this year. While last year a total of 8,761 people received consultations, reviews, and treatments for their eyesight at the Pacific Institute's diabetic clinic. The Fred Hollows Foundation New Zealand Pacific Eye Institute, with the support of my ministry, has conducted series of awareness trainings on diabetes retinopathy for community health nurses in the three divisions, Central, Western, and Northern. And I'm pleased to note that a total of 386 community health nurses have been trained in diabetes retinopathy awareness training, and they are able to further assist the district nurses and zone nurses in their programs for wellness screening. Empowering the primary care health workers through knowledge on good management of diabetes, of course, provides avenues to curb the rise of visual impairment and blindness as complications of diabetes in Fiji. We now have taken the diabetes retinopathy outreach awareness out to rural communities, where awareness is raised at community levels to further strengthen referral pathways and identify new cases that need to be taken care of. Through awareness sessions, people are advised that diabetes causes eye problems and leads to blindness. As such, those with diabetes need to ensure to get regular eye exams to prevent diabetes complications caused to their eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, the launching of the eye care nurses scope of practice today is another milestone achievement in Fiji's effort to provide and promote eye health care. No doubt that nurses play a vital role in the delivery of essential healthcare services, and they are more important empowerment agents to strengthen our healthcare systems at primary and tertiary levels. To respond to the growing demands and expectations from people living with diabetes, our nurses working in the eye care have progressively reviewed and reorganized their roles and responsibilities to adequately meet the needs of many patients, many of our patients with eye issues in the various communities around the country. We are forever grateful for the ongoing support provided by Fred Hollows Foundation New Zealand in the education and empowerment of our nurses who undertake the postgraduate diploma and master's qualification in eye care. These nurses are appropriately prepared to practice their full scope in eye care at primary health level and tertiary care levels, and we are truly proud that through such strong partnerships, we are able to empower our health professionals to provide quality care and and health services, be it in eye care or general health development services. Fiji, ladies and gentlemen, is taking a lead role to enhance its health services through strategic plannings, future-oriented and innovative policies and programs. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to endorse and launch the Eye Care Nurses Scope of Practice, which describes the competencies, standards, roles, responsibilities, and activities that eye nurses are educated and authorized to perform. It also includes the decision-making framework that must be adhered to by all eye care nurses. The scope of practice sets the standards in terms of the quality care that will forge greater trust and solidarity in terms of eye care we provide. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, the Eye Care Nurses Scope of Practice now sets the boundaries around ensuring that nurses remain competent and confident to perform eye care procedures identified in the scope. This also means that all trained and certified eye care nurses will now need to remain practically relevant by completing 20 CPD points and complete the list of eye procedures that are listed in the scope of practice for the renewal of the annual licenses. I'm also pleased to remind the audience here this morning that our government in 2017 and 2018 budget recognized nursing specializations by awarding 800 specialist nursing positions. This now means that the qualified eye care nurses can now be registered with the Fiji Nursing Council under the current vocational category and become fully fledged eye specialist nurses. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to extend my deepest congratulations to the eye care nurses and the doctors and everyone that have worked hard to complete the eye care nurses scope of practice, which has been endorsed by the Fiji Nursing Council. We also commend the Fiji Nursing Council for its commitment and support in building a stronger nursing workforce in Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I'd like to remind all present here and all who will be getting these messages that our eye health is impacted by our lifestyle, including our eating habits, regular exercise, and routine physical examinations. Getting an annual eye exam is very important. Is a very important part in maintaining our overall health. Leading a healthy lifestyle of exercise and proper nutrition can keep your eyes functioning properly, as healthy eyes are a critical component in learning and experiencing growth and development. Most people, I believe, don't start thinking about eye health until they experience some changes in their eyesight. Go for fruits and vegetables, whole grains and lean protein. If you smoke, please quit smoking. Lighting up causes problems. I'm sure you know that, with your blood vessels, which make you more likely to end up with eye troubles. Exercise can and has a big influence on your blood sugar. So please plan out your diet and exercise daily to stay healthy. After all, good health is the key to a happy and a productive life. So choose wisely, choose life, choose to live healthy, and choose to live longer and every day. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I have much pleasure to officially launch the Eye Care Nurses Scope of Practice and World Eyesight Day. Thank you all.